Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Roommate Rivalry. Kevin Walsh alongside Joe Janis. Only
how's it going, guys?
Of the squad today, but we're gonna still push along. NFL Week 1 in the books. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is where it started, so I think we'll be all right. Week 1 come and gone. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Some people very happy with the results of their teams. Others
100%.
Not too happy. Just an initial takeaway from Week 1, something that doesn't even have to be an individual. Maybe just like you're happy to see
like
it back.
a team or something.
Just any. I mean, I'll start to give you an idea of what I'm thinking.
Probably know. What
I was talking to my little brother Connor about this, and he made a really good point to me. Something I wanted to talk to you about. He said that Week 1 felt very much like a real Week 1 in regards to a lot of mistakes. A lot of penalties, a lot of drop passes, and
a lot of drop passes.
You know, when he said that to me, it really brought it to my attention much more than before.
But okay. So what you saying? Last week was what, too professional? Like it wasn't.
No. What I'm saying is like it. I don't know. Sometimes when you definitely at the high school level, even at the collegiate level, teams in Week 1 that you know that they're not going to be in rhythm. You know that Week 1 is almost like
I know what you're saying.
But
it's like
in
a
the
preseason.
NFL, they have those 4 preseason games. Normally, they're pretty sharp.
Yeah,
I just felt like they weren't as sharp as you can normally expect.
I mean, the
from
Patriots look
certain
sharp.
teams.
I'll give them that.
They look sharp offensively.
Defensively, they weren't.
They got torched for like 350 by Big Ben in the air and a 127 by D'Angelo Williams on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
the touchdown numbers weren't there as much,
they were. I had their defense not being that good at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they still held Antonio Brown to what, a 2-second left touchdown? Like that's someone that had a touchdown.
But it's also much easier to key in on one guy. They were missing.
No, that's true. But
big
the
weapon.
Offense was on. I mean, there were obviously a lot of mistakes that happened this week.
Mm-hmm.
Penalty-wise, there was the drop passes in A.J. Green, the guy Parker from
the Giants.
That was, I mean,
Jordan Matthews.
There's a drop right there.
Play.
You could probably name a few more.
I mean, the guy on the Cowboys when he dropped the pass on the big hit. That was Romo's second pick of the game.
Yeah.
That was another costly drop. Des Bryant's drop was very.
He had a drop,
unexpected. I mean, he was completely by himself.
There was a lot of people that dropped passes.
Yeah, there's just a lot of drops. And I mean, I know in the Eagles game there's so many penalties. It felt like every 5 seconds. There was just a lot of. I don't know. That really stood out to me. How Week 1 it seemed like it was preseason Week 5 almost.
I guess so. Yeah. I guess that could be true.
But how about a team that really impressed you Week 1?
Team that impressed me. Easy. I think this team only impressed me because I was hearing that this team was so garbage or garbage,
as they say in France.
As they say. I'm going to say the 49ers, maybe because you've been feeding into my head, this, that. And like, I always thought Kaepernick, I think he's an average quarterback now, but he has potential to be elite because he has been to the, he has potential to be more than average.
Okay.
Because he has played in the Super Bowl before. He has put up numbers. He last year took off a year, maybe. But, I didn't think they were going to be as bad, but everyone was saying, the 49ers are going to be garbage. The 49ers they're going to go 5 and something. And they actually played a great game, and Carlos Hyde, he abused me in fantasy, but he dogged the Vikings, and a team that I had being second in the division looked terrible to me, and I don't know what's going on with Peterson. I really thought he was going to have a day, and he didn't.
That was very, very weird.
He lived, not up to what I expected.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. I really thought that the 49ers were going to lose a lot.
Is that the team you think? I have another team that impressed me, but that was the 49ers, I guess, because it was recent.
I mean, the team that
there was a lot of teams that actually impressed me.
The team that I personally, like, if I had to give my golden star to,
okay.
It's the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that was the team. I was thinking the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we spoke about this, and you said that the game didn't surprise you because of how well Buffalo can play at home.
It really didn't surprise me as much.
But obviously they're not going to beat the Colts in shootout fashion. Obviously they're not going to win 41-38. But I mean, Andrew Luck, and maybe the surprise factor adds into how much people are expecting from him this year. Only 2 touchdowns. The team just it didn't look very good. Did the Colts? And I'm not going to say that's because the Colts are bad. I still think that the Colts are good. I just think the Bills might have a really good football team over there.
I just think that what made the Colts not look and play not as well as we expected them to play was the running game. They picked up Frank Gore to do something to change that so that Andrew Luck, which I think he threw 49 times in this game, doesn't have to do in a game. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like bringing the veteran Frank Gore, they got rid of Fred Jackson. They had these other guys who did. I'm wrong team. Sorry, but they brought in Frank Gore, trying to maybe balance out the offense, maybe running, passing, play action.
Definitely.
And what happens? He throws 49 times in the game, and I think he only completed half of them or
26.
something. Yeah,
I think
that's a little crazy.
No, I mean it's a great point. I pulled the stats up right here in front of me. Frank Gore, 8 carries for 31 yards. As a team, they had 64 yards rushing, and 20 of those was by Andrew Luck. Now you look Andrew Luck when 26 for 49, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. And you look at Tyrod Taylor, who went for 14 for 19 with a touchdown. Now, QBR is, created by all these mathematical geniuses.
Don't say you're going to pick Tyrod.
No, I'm not going to say that. But it's just when you look at these numbers, if I would have said to you the Colts are playing the Bills, now one of them is going to have a QBR of a 38.7, and one of them is going to have an 88.2. You never in your wildest dreams would have thought it would have been Luck with the bad one. And obviously, this is not what we're going to get from Luck all year.
The thing is, though, I feel like Luck is that type of QB, though. Like, people expect him to be great all the time, but I still am not 100% confident with Luck, like, being, you know what I'm saying, being elite every game.
We've
like, Aaron Rodgers, when he has a bad game, he still puts up numbers. That's how I feel. I feel when Andrew Luck has a bad game, he plays bad. Like, he's still young. He's still young.
Veteran mold. See, the one knock on Luck is I really do.
Wait, how many yards did he throw for? Just
243.
I mean, 243 and 2 touchdowns and 2 picks obviously hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, look, if you're gonna throw the ball 49 times, you should throw for 243 yards.
Yeah, 100%.
The thing is with Luck, and this is where we have different opinions. You say he's not elite yet. I confidently say that he's an elite quarterback, but Luck still is turnover prone. That is a big. Tom Brady doesn't really turn the ball over. Aaron Rodgers threw 5 picks all of last season. Peyton Manning rarely, although he kind of Peyton Manning's been on the way. Yeah, he did. But
threw a pick 6. Yeah.
But Peyton normally, especially when he was in his prime and everything, Peyton didn't really turn the ball over. That's what you expect from your elite quarterbacks. Andrew Luck is as of right now still someone who you have to be nervous about just turning it over, even in big spots.
Okay, the first pick, I'm trying to remember what it was. But the last pick, I can see, like, maybe it's a desperation, try to drive it up the field.
I mean, yeah,
obviously. But yeah, he still is there for turnovers. He'll have, like, maybe, what did he have last year? Like, 30 touchdowns, but still a decent amount of picks. Yeah. I mean, as an elite quarterback, you obviously can't make decisions like that.
Right.
But, yeah.
Now, let's, we gave out, a pair of golden stars. I don't know, we'll keep with the theme. We'll give out demerits.
A team that
really just, you felt underachieved, didn't at all impress. You're just shaking your head kind of at how that team looked week 1.
Start it off, because I have a team in mind, but I'm not as, like... Okay, I'm going to say, like, the Dolphins. Like, okay. I feel like they were supposed to live up to a better expectation. They still won. They overcame the deficit. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was just, like, the first week. I still feel like they played kind of okay. The defense was kind of solid. Like, they had a pick. They had, 2 picks. Held them to 10 points, even though they are the Redskins. They still came out with the win. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I did expect more from the offense, though. From an offensive point of view for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I can see that. And, crossed my mind. But I think that there were a couple teams who I would throw to. Now, I think the Baltimore Ravens have, for me, really, really underimpressed. I mean, so did the Broncos, in truth. But if Peyton Manning was having a good day, this game would have looked really bad, like really, really bad. No, neither team had an offensive touchdown, but really, for me, just looking at Joe Flacco's numbers of 18 for 32 and 117 yards and 2 picks. Justin Forsett had 14 carries and only 43 yards.
Wow.
They offensively, I mean, the receivers, the number one receiver on the day was Marlon Brown, who had 2 catches for 25 yards, but I mean, he had a catch for 22. Yeah. So they had just nothing going at all offensively. And they allowed Peyton to have a bad day and them to still win. Now, I do think that the Broncos have a good defense.
No, their defense is solid.
But no defense is supposed to be that good. I mean, the Ravens offensively looked.
I mean, okay, offensively they have Steve Smith
Sr., Justin Forsett, Joe Flacco.
And who's another receiver?
They're supposed to have Rashad Penny was hurt. Now, but I mean, and that's part of the reason why. I mean, you said Steelers will win the division. I said Bengals. Now, and I would if we graced us with his presence, he could have maybe came up with a little bit more reasoning here. But I know what you're gonna say. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna compare him to Luck though. I feel like Joe Flacco is still in that category with Luck as well. He can have a great day and still not play a great game.
Now, I don't. First of all, I think Luck is better than Flacco already. I think you can trust Luck.
I'm just saying.
More.
I'm saying in that category, where they're not consistent. Like I still, if a game was to like say the Ravens play a team, I still could be like, oh, I think Joe Flacco's not gonna have a great day. Like you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I get
like
that
even
for sure.
if Aaron Rodgers playing the number 1 defense, I'm gonna be like, he's still gonna have a great day.
No, I definitely.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm still questionable with Luck and Joe Flacco to always play consistent, even when they don't play as what they the hype is up to.
Now but to me, this is like way below average. I mean, of all the quarterbacks, week 1, Joe Flacco was probably the worst. He was even though Jameis Winston looked terrible.
Jameis Winston did look terrible.
Joe Flacco, week 1, looked like the worst quarterback, and he's not the worst quarterback.
No.
It, to me, was just. I didn't expect a shootout. These two teams come across each other a lot of times, and they play some good games.
It's a week 1 game, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, and this is not what I expect from this offense all season.
100%.
But for a week 1 demerit, a week 1 team that really underachieved by a lot to me would be this Ravens. Specifically the offense, because I don't think it's fair because they've really held Peyton and the offense to hold.
Oh, I was just gonna say you can also say the Broncos, even though they won. Like,
so, I mean, to me, I'm really keying in here on that Ravens offense. That's a team to me that I really felt didn't live up to the hype and didn't live up to what you want to see from them.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Now, I want to kind of just maybe get into the 2 New York teams, because I think that obviously we're in New York, and those are 2 teams that are always going to be constantly talked about and everything. Jets 31-10 victory. Johnny Manziel came in and just looked,
At first he looked
okay, and then he started.
He threw a touchdown.
Oh yeah, and then
he was running the ball,
and then there was like 5 turnovers on total.
And then all of a sudden,
it kind of just went downhill. The Giants, everyone knows how they lost in that dramatic, traumatic fashion.
It was dramatic, though.
No, dramatic and traumatic. both I think actually do apply here. But week 2,
okay,
the Jets are going to be playing the Colts.
Okay.
What do you think happens in that game? Later on in the show, we'll do our pick'ems, but I'm just specifically for these 2 teams. What do you think?
The thing is, T.Y. Hilton
is questionable.
Is questionable, and he still had a solid game. I think he had 7 catches for.
I think it was 8 catches for 77 yards.
So
he's having actually a real good day.
I mean, if he plays, and even if he doesn't play, I still think Andrew Luck's gonna bounce back from.
I'm not even saying to tell me who you think is gonna win right now.
No, I'm just gonna say Andrew Luck's gonna bounce back from his week.
But what do you expect just from the Jets as a team?
What do I?
Yeah, okay. Instead of just saying like, I think Colts win, just a little more in depth of what you think you'll see from the Jets.
It's a Monday night game too. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like
I don't think the Jets are gonna have that great of a defensive game.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they had how many turnovers did they have against?
I think it was 5.
Yeah, that's not gonna
I
happen.
mean, that's a lot of
They did play the Browns.
Right.
They're playing a better team now. The true point that they got to prove, and I really would like to see, is how the offense still plays.
If they can be consistent.
If the offense, because they had Fitzpatrick didn't play that bad game. Eric Decker had a touchdown. Chris Ivory
went off,
and that could be a big factor in this game too. Because the Colts defense, I think, is not a.
They gave up a lot of rushing yards to the Bills.
Exactly. I don't see their Colts defense being as great. The Jets are going to stick to probably that game plan of running the football. If that doesn't work, I think the Jets going to have a real big problem. I think the defense, though, is not going to play as great as they played week 1 against the Browns. With quarterback issues. And I think Andrew Luck's going to have I think he's going to have a good game this week. I don't think he's going to have a bad game. I don't think he's going to have what he had against the Bills.
I think it's tough because let's say no Ty.
Okay.
Then you have Andre Johnson against Revis.
Okay.
And then you really kind of look at the rest of his options.
Moncrief.
Yeah, I mean, you got Moncrief, Philip Dorsett, the 2 tight ends in Fleener and Allen. And if Frank Gore struggles again...
Yeah, that's a problem.
You know, to be honest...
And I think he will struggle.
I don't think I'd realized... Because when I was looking at this Colts team, I really did think the Colts were going to be very good. And I was like, they have a lot of weapons. Their defense is improved. But you take T.Y. off that team.
I mean, they have Kobe Fleener and Dwayne Allen, who's...
Yeah, but... They're not like consistent.
Tight
ends.
but they're a dual threat. Like,
yeah, you're right there.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right
if it's just one of them, like Dwayne Allen, I'm gonna be like, yeah, all right, no.
Mm-hmm.
But he comes off the field, and then Kobe Fleener comes on. They're both okay tight ends. Yeah. I'll take them. Mm-hmm. If they weren't a dual threat, then it would be like, nah, they have who? Just Andre Johnson.
I think that the Colts minus T.Y. Hilton are significantly worse.
100%. You're taking their best player.
But by a lot. Like, honestly, I don't think the Colts win if T.Y. doesn't play. That's kind of how I'm seeing it because
I don't know.
For the Jets,
I can't see that.
I think this run game is real. I think that
Chris
Ivory
really
is actually going to have a very, very good season.
But who's the Browns' defense?
Oh, of course.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Who's the Browns' defense?
I get what you're saying. But I do think that Chris Ivory is legit. I think you're going to see good games from Chris Ivory, and I think that is going to make life for Ryan
last year
Fitzpatrick.
He played. He didn't have a terrible season.
No, it was decent.
So like it was expected for him to have like that year. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this year.
Yeah, I think last year he had 821 yards, but he had under 200 carries.
Okay.
Now this year he's going to definitely see way over 200 carries, and I think that you're going to see Chris Ivory be a more consistent player for this Jets team, and I think that when it comes down to it, week by week by week, every single time we talk Jets, we're going to say that Chris Ivory is going to be the X factor going into the game. That's kind of how I'm feeling.
As much as I don't like the Jets, they really do, besides a quarterback position who played okay first game.
Yeah.
They have threats on offense.
They have a lot of weapons.
A lot. They have Brandon Marshall,
Eric Decker, and then Chris Ivory. I mean, that's
right there. That's
legit weapons. And the rookie, I believe it's Devin Smith. I know the first name begins with a D.
So, yeah.
No, he's hurt right now. Broke his ribs in preseason, but he's one of those slot receiver, deep, big play threats that if he comes back, that's another nice weapon for Fitzpatrick to have, who can definitely throw the deep ball. I do think that the Jets are actually going to be much better, kind of, than maybe what we all thought, even with the quarterback situation being suspect.
Marty's going to be a big loss.
He's supposed to be week to week though, which is a big relief for them, because if Cromartie was out for the season, that hurts a lot.
100%.
But a healthy Cromartie, I think, is
Cromartie and Revis is a dangerous.
Top 5 cornerback duos in the league, no two ways about it.
Yeah, I mean,
well, take it over to the Giants. Just a crazy game.
It was upsetting that game.
I mean, it was a crazy game. You look at it, and offensively, they didn't look good, but they were right there. Their defense, their defense got picked apart by Romo at the end. But their defense actually played
well. Yeah.
Well, when you talk about Giants coming into the year, it was their offense is going to have to.
I thought
carry
their defense was going to be terrible,
and their offense is going to have to carry them.
Huh?
It was the other way around.
It was the other way around.
Completely
the defense actually
the other way around.
The defense had a touchdown, a fumble recovery, a pick. they really played a overall good game until the last 2 drives Romo had. Romo had put together.
Pair of beauties.
Yeah,
a pair of beauties, definitely. Now for them, week 2, they're going to play the Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons home. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons just came off beating the Eagles.
They did. The Atlanta Falcons, though, in my eyes, from what I watched from that game, because obviously I watched every single snap, the Eagles honestly looked like the worst team in football in that first half, and the Falcons did a very nice job taking advantage of that. Mm-hmm. But when the Eagles came out and played some good second half football, the Falcons looked at their mercy almost.
They looked like the defense
touchdowns.
I expected them to be.
No touchdowns. They're really able to move the ball on them, and I think that this is a game where consistency is going to be key. And if Eli can get into a groove, any fantasy Eli owners know for a fact the struggle that week 1 was.
He put up 9 points. Like that's
I mean,
he has to go
at 193 yards.
Is Victor Cruz going to come back? Do you know?
I mean, we know he was ruled out week 1. Week 2, I'm going to say right now is questionable. Mm-hmm. Probably doubtful.
Even if he doesn't play, though, Eli should still have a decent game. By decent game, I mean he should have at least a touchdown, which he didn't even have. I mean, how does he not throw a touchdown? I don't understand that.
That was his first time he had a 10-game streak of throwing a touchdown.
It's crazy.
He couldn't get one through on a Cowboys secondary that didn't look outstanding. I didn't think it looked that great.
No, I mean,
I mean, you're going to come up against much better
tougher competition. I do believe though the Giants' backfield played very well. I think so. By meaning running backs.
It was tough. I think for the opportunities that they were given and the situations they were put in, I think
maybe, well. but still taking advantage of those situations is obviously.
I'm saying is that I think that they would have had a better day if the play calling and just the way that the offense was ran made more sense.
Well, that last play call was
atrocious.
I think you should run it anyway. I mean,
Rashad Jennings comes out and says, "I was told not to score." Tom Coughlin said, "We never told him that." No one knows what's going on.
Yeah, it sounds like the Seahawks Patriots all over.
Yeah, I mean, don't we learn? Yeah, if you're gonna learn anything from the cheating Patriots, it's throw. Don't throw.
Yeah, right.
But week 2,
I'm
the key to success.
Who you going with that game?
I think the Giants.
Really?
I think
you really do.
I think the offense is gonna click. I think Odell has a nice game. Although Desmond Trufant looked real good in week 1. Nelson Aguilar was nowhere to be found.
That was lost.
But Odell's a much better receiver, obviously, than Nelson Aguilar.
So we'll see how that plays out.
I think that Eli has a real nice game. I think that they maybe find a little more consistency on the ground, and I think it's flip-flops. I think their offense wins them a game, and that's the side they rely on.
I actually I don't know how, but I think I'm gonna go with the Giants too this game. Even though I thought the Falcons played very well, I think the Giants, the defense for the Giants, the cornerbacks played a great game. Mm-hmm. I mean, Des Bryant when he was in the game
did nothing.
Did really nothing. He had Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley.
Terrence Williams 5. I mean the best receiver on that team, obviously the Jason Witten pair of touchdowns, but it was really Lance Dunbar.
Yeah, it was. So I have to give the Giants defense some credit now. And then remember yesterday when the linebacker for the Giants, Unga?
Oh yeah.
Unga. We thought I know that last drive that was all him not playing.
He lost. I'm not gonna say he lost on the game, but
he didn't lose the game.
He got picked on by a veteran quarterback.
100%, and that's what you should do. He got picked on by a veteran quarterback and a veteran tight end. You know what I'm saying?
Lance Dunbar was picking on. I mean, he got picked on that last drive.
Okay, but the last 2 throws were to Witten too. Yeah. And Witten knows what to do. He sees him. Yeah.
He got picked on.
He played that last throw terribly, but we did see that he did have 12 tackles.
Yeah, he tied for most tackles in the league.
He had an interception, even though it bounced to him, it's still an interception.
Yeah.
So maybe he has a good game, and the offense, I believe Eli's gonna have a touchdown.
I think Eli has at least.
You think multiple?
At least 2. I really think that. I think the offense has a nice week.
He's got to prove it to me. That's how I feel. I feel like 1 touchdown. Mm-hmm. He's got to prove it. So I'm gonna go with the Giants this game.
Yeah. We'll take a very brief break. When we come back, we're going to talk some fantasy football, people to look for, pick up, and maybe some Week 2 breakout superstars. We'll be right back here on Roommate Rivalry.
WICR presents This Moment in History.
3, 2,